Welcome everyone to our final meetup of the 2020 year. My name is Mike. I'm your host for the evening. Welcome to this month's meetup, Home, People, Places, and Feelings. From what started as a concept of multicontinental living turned into the realization that before we can talk about different places that mix people and all people alike can call home, we first needed to figure out and know what is home. What do we mean by that? So we're crafting a space today to discuss the concept of home. What does it feel like? What could it look like? Who's there? What is home to nomadic people or people that are just always on the go? Is home a stationary location? Does it have to be that? Or is home connected to a specific land? So these are some of the questions that we asked ourselves as a team during our brainstorming for this meetup. So we're here together to talk just about that today. So we're going to have some small group conversations. We're going to do some full community discussion. I'm also going to lead you through a small exercise to affirm your unique experiences with home. So I want to invite everyone gathered here to share and listen to our community experiences. We want you to leave this space feeling refreshed and rejuvenated in a time of year that can often feel a little bit hectic. And so today, let's honor that home can mean different things to many different people. Also, let me pause myself. It's important to acknowledge that not only is this the closing meetup for the year 2022, the Mixed Space also wants to let you know that we're going to be taking a break from our monthly meetups going into the new year. We're going to be doing some behind the scenes planning for new things to come, and we want to invite you to stay with us as we will continue to share on all of our social platforms, but we hope that you're as excited as we are for the next chapter of the Mixed Space. So just keep that in mind. I have a couple of prompts here. We don't have to do them in any specific order, top down, bottom up, but how have you modified your definition of home throughout your life? Or what rituals do you practice to make any place feel like home?
Definition of home. Well, I teach these little girls, kind of like a Girl Scout program. And I was like having them introduce themselves, and I was introducing this like concept of where am I from? And one of the girls answered like, as a matter of fact, like from my mother's stomach. And I just thought that was so beautiful. I have had many homes, and definitely like community for me feels like home, like just being supported with friends and people I can like share interests with. I was Mormon for 17 years, and it made it really easy because as I moved, I could just land in a church and everybody would help, and it was great. Thankfully, I left, and we left like 7 years ago, and that was brutal to lose all the support. And it has taken 7 years to like create community, and it takes a lot of intention, and it's not easy. I mean, I live in a suburban, very white neighborhood, but rituals for making my home, like many, maybe too many. I love celebrations, and I do them all, like Halloween all out, Dia de Muertos all out, and I probably need to scale down, but yeah, anything that brings joy, and I try to just participate.
I can connect with that. I'm someone who left my home state and all of my biological family, moved to another state, and I had to build community in order to make my chosen family so that I could feel at home, right? So I completely connect with that.
I mean, literally what you just said as far as like needing to make chosen family. My definition of like home isn't fixed to a particular place or a particular set of people, given the fact like as a queer person, having to deal with like layers of like people, my own family rejecting me multiple times and not feeling completely comfortable or let alone accepted. And so I've grown to expand like my idea of like who home and who I'm comfortable with and who is my family. And that's like the people who actually make an effort to be a part of my life. And so, yeah, like I've expanded it to include like chosen family. And as far as home or things that make me feel more comfortable in a place, I mean, it ranges from like physically like cleaning everything from top to bottom, just so that it's like not full of like grossness of whoever was there prior. And then like literally getting in the habit of like cleansing it energetically, whether it's like bomba floor wash or like putting bowls of salt all over the place. But just to cleanse it and to make space for my presence there, and whoever else is going to be there that I'm going to be sharing space with. But it's been a continual thing. It's been a continuous thing, especially as somebody that's had to move recently a lot in the last 3 years for school, for work, and then needing to come back and live with my folks when things didn't work out. And so it's a continually evolving definition.
I've lived about 20 years at a time in 5 different states. And I grew up in a really not very populous part of Montana. And with a lot of the lineages that I come from, home isn't as much about the house as it is about what are the roots of the plants feel like, and what does the air smell like. And I remember my grand teaching me when I was just old enough to open a door, that every morning to go out and smell what the air smells like. So when I'm in a place, I know which tree is closest to the house and what is the moss or the grass feel like. And I've lived, except for when I was growing up in my family home, I've never owned a building. It's always been a rental. So that's really important. And I swear to God, I'm like in that I Love Lucy episode where she collects all the rocks and the camper is going to go back down the hill the wrong direction because it's full of rocks, because I have all of these rocks that are the land from land that I have lived as part of. And then there's a layer of, then there's the birds and the other, other creatures. And then there's the people. So my community starts with trees and then it ends with the people that kind of resonate with that vibe. And the way that I sort of make the building space that I'm living in my home, like a lot of other people, I clean it of what the junk that was here before, and the junk I'm bringing with me, man. Like I don't always bring great energy into my house because I'm usually trying to hide from something that's gone down that I have to like clear out of my energy, my own energy first. But I think one of my favorite rituals is to invite people over for tea, because I come from a group of people that thinks that making some kind of tea from something that you grew and sitting down with somebody and hearing their heart and, eating their food and listening to their music and being with the people that are nearby is the way to grow, because we're all interconnected, just like those trees. So I don't know if that sounds weird, but that's really kind of the way it works for me.
I was excited to jump in after Heather because I really appreciated what you shared. And I was excited about this topic, but also kind of struggled with it too. And this is very much so a space of healing for me. And I've been figuring out like how to do that and how to move forward, because I've actually had a lot of loss is a strange way to say it, and I'm still like grappling with that language, but just maybe transitions. Like my physical apartment home is still here, but the homes that I've really felt connected to throughout my life, I've lost slowly over these past couple years, and that felt literally like pieces of me are just gone, more so than my actual like daily residence or like daily home. So just trying to figure that out and kind of process through and feel more connected and grounded in this space has been difficult, while like mourning those other losses. So anyways, I really, really appreciate that practice. And I think it just, the idea of, because I'm still in Michigan and I'm close to those homes, being able to honor that and like take land from those spaces, like be able to kind of bring everything together full circle. I also often collect like stones and just different pieces, and I've never done that intentionally. And I think there's still space to like honor my grandmother's home and the home I grew up in, and just all these different spaces. So Heather, I just wanted to say thank you for sharing that. And I just really appreciated it, because I think that that might be able to be part of like that healing journey, because I'm having a really hard time of figuring out, like, again, you know, just kind of entering this new phase of home and allowing that to be something so different than it was.
So to me, one of the rituals that I do in any house or home that I live in is to light up some incense. I associate certain scents with home. So if it smells like oud or sandalwood or musk, to me, that smells like home. Also, fresh baked, whatever, and coffee in the morning. Those are things that I associate with a home, and that makes wherever I go home, especially that I lived in a lot of places. And I don't really have an actual image of what home is. And when people ask where home is, it's complicated. So it's always home for now is. And it always has incense and coffee and fresh baked stuff.
Oh, well, thank you so much for sharing that. Yes, I can relate to the coffee thing. Although I've been a little ill the last couple of weeks, so coffee has been off of my menu for a little bit, but typically coffee most mornings takes place for me here in my home. I feel the same way about it. Coffee makes me think of my grandparents, weekends, pastries, mostly like pan dulce with my grandparents, or my grandfather, you know. And that's a different concept of home, because that was the feeling of home with a person and the place that they live that necessarily wasn't always my home, you know, like a place that I resided. Some of us wind up not having homes, and also to recognize that some people choose to not live in traditional home spaces and instead choose to live in ways that maybe the rest of society thinks is not correct, right? But there's lots of people out there among us that either lost home and can't get back into a home, or have chosen to leave home, or the traditional home that we're talking about in this specific case, you know?
I was just thinking about and wanted to recognize the fact that home doesn't always feel safe or meet the definition of like safety or comfort. But in my mind, oh, my power just went out, sorry. In my mind, I did want to just appreciate and try and figure out like how to take those concepts of comfort and safety that like I associate with home, and that I think is one thing I was looking to take away from this space and continue to learn from you all is like, I didn't grow up with a lot of those practices. Like that's not second nature outside of that physical space. And at this point in my life, I want to figure out how outside of that physical building, like how do we take home with us in a way that doesn't matter what those surroundings are? Like how do we find safety? Very similar to Sana said, like in our bodies, right? Like finding that safety in our bodies and recognizing and healing through that first and foremost. So just acknowledging and appreciating that too.
As you heard me say, or some of you heard me say at the beginning or the top of the hour when we started off the meetup, that TMS, we're going to be taking a break from our monthly meetups. So yes, that's right. The mixed space is going to be taking a break, doing some pause on our monthly meetups. But don't forget though, we are not going away. We're still here, and we're going to be posting on all of our regular social media platforms that we always do. Blogs will continue to come out. We're going to be making videos as well. And then in 2023, we will most likely have some kind of an announcement with what else we're coming back with, right? So with that being said, our founder and CEO, Lily. We have a video with a message from her to the mixed space community. So we're going to play that.
Hey, Mixed Space friends and family. Lily Stiefel here. I'm the CEO of the Mixed Space. December meetup will be our last meetup for now. However, we are definitely still here. We are still live and continuing our conversations through our monthly blogs and through our social media channels on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube, and on Twitter. We're actually building out further platforms for us to keep connecting. And at this point, I want to emphasize how important your feedback is. Like your input, your questions, your ideas, your suggestions make a huge difference to us. We really listen. And as I look into the future, I have this vision for us to continue to harness a sense of global communal belonging. And I'm so excited for you to be on this journey with us. Thank you for beginning this new next chapter with us, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you to all, from myself to you all, from the TMS team here at the Mixed Space. I want to thank you all for joining us, especially for those of you that stuck it out with us throughout the entire meetup. Hope you all have safe, healthy endings to your year as we get ready to close out December and then start a whole new year, hopefully together. Hopefully we'll see you all. And definitely Chelsea's capturing what I was about to say. We're going to miss hanging out once a month with our community while we're on pause and break. But don't forget, stay with us, stick around, don't leave us because we're not going anywhere. We're coming back. And in the meantime, from now until the time when we come back with our new announcement, you're still going to see us posting online. You're still going to see us active on our social medias, right? So keep an eye on those, comment, let us know things, contact us, consider writing a blog if you would like to. All right. If you want to make contributions, you can go to our www.themixedspace.com. You can help make a contribution there. Lily in the chat says, "I love you all so much." Also, don't forget, you're always whole, you're never half. As a mixed person, if you're a mixed person that's with us, and the Mixed Space is also one of your homes. You come with us here. We're a virtual home together. So many of you expressed that to us, so we appreciate that. All right, thank you all. We love you so much. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for jumping in on this topic with us. And that concludes this month's meetup.